And we welcome you to Everett Community College. It's the Walt Price Student Fitness Center, the NWAC Women's Basketball Tournament for 2017. Welcome back to Everett CC. Tom Lafferty, our statistician, Rick Dana, Todd Elvig at the controls. He almost left for Game 8. He was getting in the truck and he was gone. He said, no, I'll come back. I'll finish up the day. We've been going since 8 o'clock this morning. Already winning today, Peninsula and Umpqua, Bellevue and Spokane, Walla Walla, Lower Columbia. Skagit Valley just won their game over Grays Harbor. Now we feature the Lane Titans and the Columbia Basin Hawks. CBC out of Pasco, Lane out of Eugene. Lane comes in, the number 2 seed from the South Division at 25-4. The number 3 seed out of the East Division, Columbia Basin, at 19-8. And so we're going to have the introduction of the lineups here momentarily as they're getting the opening ceremonies done for this final game of the day. Let's take a look at those starters. In the white uniforms, it'll be the Lane Titans. They'll start Amber Lease, a freshman, 5'4", out of Mazama High School in Klamath Falls, Oregon, averaging 6.2 points per ball game. Aisha Tulloch from Centennial High School in Boise, Idaho, averaging 7.7 points per game. She's a freshman at 5'8". Sarah Hall, a freshman at 6'2", from Sheldon High School in Eugene, Oregon, leading scorer for the Titans at 16.7 points per ball game. Jordan Rodriguez, a sophomore, 5'7", from Sunnyside High School in Sunnyside, Washington, a former Grizzly. She's 10-9. And Sierra Carrier, a freshman, 5'11", power forward from North Eugene High School in Eugene, Oregon, averaging 15.7 points per ball game. So Amber Lease, Aisha Tulloch, Sarah Hall, Jordan Rodriguez, and Sierra Carrier for Greg Shealy and the Lane Titans, again out of Eugene, Oregon. For the Columbia Basin Hawks out of Pasco, Washington, Sierra Perez, a 5'4" point guard from right there in Pasco High School. She's the leading scorer for the Hawks at 20.3 points per ball game. We remember seeing her play in high school. Sabine Ko, a freshman, 5'10", from Woodinville High School in Woodinville, Washington, here in Western Washington, 8.1 points per ball game. Alexis Higginbotham, a 5'8" guard, sophomore from Zilla High School, 12.6 points per ball game. Emily Botkin will be a 6'1" sophomore from White Swan High School in White Swan, Washington, 14.1 points per ball game. And Kayla Jones, also from White Swan, averaging 17.1 points per ball game, a 5'10" sophomore. So Sierra Perez, Sabine Ko, Alexis Higginbotham, Emily Botkin, and Kayla Jones for Darren Santo and the Columbia Basin Hawks. The officials for this game are Mike Eckert, Maggie Sperlin, and Rusty Vineyard. The winner of this game will take on the Skagit Valley Cardinals tomorrow night at 8 o'clock in the last of the 4 games tomorrow, the Elite 8 games. That'll feature Peninsula and Umpqua at 2 o'clock tomorrow, Bellevue and Spokane at 4 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, it's Walla Walla and Lower Columbia. And then at 8 o'clock, Skagit Valley and either Columbia Basin or Lane. So we're getting set for the ball to go in the air. We'll be underway for the final game of the year, running about 15 minutes behind, which is not bad. If you started at 8 o'clock this morning and you played 8 games, 16 teams have run through here, and they are set for the game number 8, the NWAC Women's Basketball Championship Tournament. Last chance to punch a ticket to the Elite 8, and it happens right now. Lane and Columbia Basin are set to go. Maggie Sperlin has the basketball in the air, and we are underway, and the Lane Titans will control. They're wearing the white uniforms. They're the home team here in the gym, and immediately we're going to have a foul called. 6 seconds into the game, they're going to call a clear-out foul, and they're going to whistle this one against the Lane Titans on the clear-out. It's going to be whistled against Sierra Carrier from North Eugene. Picks up her first personal foul and a first team foul. The bane of our existence, if you're an announcer, is the Columbia Basin Hawks. Here's a shot on the way. That's going to be a miss for Emily Botkin. The reason? Black uniforms, black numbers, very light piping trim. You cannot see the numbers here from the 3 stories up. Ask Bob Rondo sometime if you really want to see him just boiling mad is about the blackout uniforms for the Washington Huskies from 7 stories up in Husky Stadium, if you can see the numbers. So we'll do the best we can for Columbia Basin. Right now it's Lane with the basketball. They have nice, clear, dark numbers against a white backdrop, so that's good news for us. Aisha Tulloch with it. Goes over right side. But enough about me. Here's a turnaround jumper. That's going to be a miss. No good by Sarah Hall. Back up. No good. Ball went out of bounds. They're going to say last touched by a Lane Titan, so Columbia Basin will have it. And out of backcourt, here come the Hawks. They bring it up. We're almost a minute into the contest. Sierra Perez with it. Swing it out to the top of the key. Dribble drive. Higginbotham goes in, laying up. No good. They kind of play volleyball with the basketball momentarily. Grabbed by Amber Lease for the Lane Titans. Yet to have a score in the game. Not yet either from a deep right corner 3 ball that won't go for Sarah Hall. And they're going to have a blocking foul called here. And just kind of, well, I don't know. Emily Botkin was kind of just standing there minding her own business, and she got run into. Of course, she wasn't looking who was coming her way, and she was kind of moving a little bit, but that's going to be the second personal foul on Emily Botkin, the second team foul, and she has to go to the bench, and we've played a minute and 16 seconds, and she's picked up 2 personal fouls, and she just walked directly to the bench and sat down. Like it happened to me before. It'll happen again tonight, I guess. So here we go. Lane with the basketball. Yet to have a score in this ball game. Double drive along the baseline. Closed off there. Amber Lease hits it back outside to Aisha Tulloch. Tulloch looking out to the right side for a 3 ball that won't go for Jordan Rodriguez. Reload here on the offense. They rifle pass down low, get it to Sierra Carrier, and it's up and it's in. First 2 points of the ball game go to the Lane Titans. Sierra Carrier with the bucket from the low block, and it's 2-0 for Lane. And then an outside banker up, and it's good. Outside banker up, and swishes it through for Sierra Perez. Perez with the bucket, and our first lead change of the game, and it's Columbia River leading it here by 1, 3-2. Now Lane with the basketball. Amber Lease. Give it to Hall. Back to Lease again. Back out top of the key. Rifle it down. Same spot. Same person. Sierra Carrier. And the same result. Lane gets the lead back with a 2-pointer down low. Now out for a 3 ball that goes through. Another 3 ball up and in. And that one is by Higginbotham. Higginbotham nails the 3 ball. And she's got her first 2. Actually, they're going to give her a 2. They gave her a 2. And then another 2 on the other end. And that is going to be a shot by Jordan Rugg. We had no scoring for a while, and now we've had 4 lead changes here in the last couple of minutes. And it's back to a Lane lead up by a 6-5 score. They just been trading buckets. We thought it was a 3 on Columbia Basin's end, but they gave her a 2. So I think we've got the paperwork straight. Lane with a 6-5 lead. And here we go. Amber Lease. Lease top of the key. Sierra Carrier. Body on the floor. Foul called. It's going to be against Lane Titans on the offensive moving screen violation. And this one's going to be whistled here. See who they called it on. Against Lane. 33, Sierra Carrier picks up the foul. That's her second personal foul. The second team foul. So she picks up the foul. And will go to will she go to the bench? Yep, they've taken her out. Sierra Carrier with 2. So the 2 big players for either team have both been sat with 2 personal fouls. Dribble drive along the right-hand side. Pull-up jumper on the way that won't go. That's a miss there by Sierra Perez and cleared out by Lane. Titans out of backcourt. Amber Lease. Now Rodriguez kind of looked at a 3. They're going to call 3 seconds in the key. Everybody kind of froze for a minute. They're going to call 3-second lane violation. So it will be a turnover, and it goes over to Columbia Basin. CBC. Columbia Basin Hawks right there next to the Pasco Airport, if you know where the college is. Little runner that won't go. Kayla Jones with the miss. And the rebound controlled by Lane out of Eugene, Oregon. Amber Lease down the corner to Tulloch. Back to Lease, back to Tulloch, deep in the left-hand corner. To get it down low to the low block. Rachel Fielder, but it's going to be taken away on a steal. Turnover by Lane. Columbia Basin has the basketball. Dribble in, turnaround jumper, won't go from the foul line. That's going to be a miss by Higginbotham. And then she stays back there to play a little defense. And it's going to be last touched out of bounds by Columbia Basin, so Lane will have the basketball. It's the Titans 6, the Hawks 5. Coming up on about 5:40 to play. Count the basket and one coming up here for Amber Lease, and she will go to the free throw line. And she gets fouled on the way in. The foul is going to be called on Sabine Ko from Woodinville High School. Picks up her first personal foul. And for CBC, their third team foul. Waiting for Amber Lease to tie her shoe. The winner plays Skagit Valley tomorrow night in the fourth of 4 games for the Elite 8 for the NWAC Women's Basketball Championship. The men and the women Final Four reconvene next Saturday here at Everett Community College. Lease hits the free throw, and the lead is 5 points it's now 4 points. 4 points for Lane. They gave her an extra one. Now here's a runner, putting it up with the right hand, no good. Sabine Ko with the miss. Rebound controlled by Lane. Titans out of backcourt. Bring it up herself is Jordan Rodriguez. Goes to the baseline, then kicks it back out. They'll cross-court it over here for an offensive foul. They got into the corner to Aisha Tulloch, and they're going to call an offensive foul. Looks like it's going to be on Hall. Sarah Hall from Sheldon High School in Eugene picks up the foul. That's her first personal foul, third team foul. Now Columbia Basin with the ball. Feeling the urge to shoot the ball way out topside, and it came away with nothing. That was Perez, and then not dropping back fast enough was Perez to step in the way of Aisha Tulloch, and the lane is up and good. It's out to a 6-point lead for Lane. Now here's a shot that's going to be no good. A miss here by Columbia Basin, and Lane out of backcourt. Bring it up the left-hand side. Sarah Hall deeper in the corner for a three that won't go for Tulloch. Kept alive by the Columbia Basin Hawks, and here they come out of backcourt. Bounce pass, right side, shot up and good for Kendall Sage. Kendall Sage from Ephrata High School in Ephrata, Washington, makes it 11-7. Runner no good, bodies on the floor, foul will be called, and we will tell you about it when we come back. With 4 minutes and 26 seconds to play in the first quarter, our score is the Lane Titans 11, the Columbia Basin Hawks 7, and we'll be back to Everett Community College on STSPN.com.
My game's developed 100% since I've been here in the Bay Area. Getting to the NBA is a major accomplishment, but surviving in the NBA is a totally new challenge. The way that I see the game now is all because of the experiences I've had in the last 7 years. It's all been an amazing journey.
Speaking of hard uniforms to read, we just saw the Lake Stevens High School cheerleaders yelling for STSPN.com. Their football uniforms are sometimes hard to read, especially if it gets wet. Then you got the black uniforms, the dark purple numbers, a little bit of gold piping, and it's wet. Forget it. you call everybody Jacob Eason. And the problem is he hasn't played there for a year. He plays for Georgia. First free throw is good for Amber Lease. The foul had been called on Sabine Ko. We're at 3 personal fouls for Lane, 4 for CBC. Couple of free throws good. The lead is out to 6 points again for Lane, equaling their biggest lead of the contest. Ball knocked away from Perez. Touched out of bounds by Amber Lease. So Columbia Basin will have it in front court. Perez throws it in. Gets it to Kayla Jones. Right side to Kendall Sage. Now dribbling through. Well, I thought there was a travel. Wow, she went a long way. Alexis Higginbotham lays it up and in. And at the 4:05 mark, it's a 4-point lead for Lane. Titans with the basketball. Rachel Fielder gives it off. Out beyond the arc here, dribbling down as they get it to Lease. Back out to the top of the key. A 3-ball launched, no good by Fielder. Kept alive by Lane. Relaunch for a 3. That's going to be glass, and that's all for Jordan Rodriguez. And CBC brings it up. The right-hand side, Higginbotham laying no good. Offensive foul called. Been consistent all night long. The offensive foul is going to be whistled here. Higginbotham kind of barreled through there. Her first personal foul and the 5th team foul. The officials are having a little confab there, just confirming what happened on that play. Mike Eckert, Maggie Sperlin, Rusty Vineyard. I wonder if Rusty Vineyard has a sells wine. He must be a winemaker. How could you be from Rusty Vineyards, Modesto, California? Please drink responsibly. Wouldn't that have to be it? Nice Merlot. Here, ball on the floor, bodies on the floor. Wrestling match breaks out. And just kind of jumping in there was Sabine Ko and Aisha Tulloch. And it will be on the alternating possession, Columbia Basin basketball. Christelle Fanganillo from Kodiak, Alaska into the contest. And another whistle. No, they're going to say offensive foul. They're calling it both ends of the floor. Offensive foul is going to be called here on Columbia Basin. It'll be Fanganillo will pick up the foul, her first personal foul. 5th team foul, but, well, they're up to 5, so that is puts them in the bonus, but the player control, there won't be shots, so it'll be Lane basketball. Kind of slowing things down here is Jordan Rodriguez. Lane with a 13-9 lead. Dribbling through to the corner, now with a shot. 3 won't go for Aisha Tulloch, and CBC will bring the ball down. That's Sierra Perez. Dribble through to the right corner. And another foul called here. This will be on Lane. And it's going to be on Rachel Fielder from Rocky Mountain High School in Meridian, Idaho. Picks up the foul. That's her first personal foul. 4th team foul on the Titans. CBC basketball. Dribbling is Kayla Jones. Dumps it over the right side. Bounce, and down it will go for the laying up and good by Nialet Geach from Kennewick High School. She puts it up and in and closes the gap to 2 points. Nearly thrown away. In fact, it is thrown away as Jordan Rodriguez can't handle the pass, so it's a little away from her, low and outside. And so the ball went out of bounds. It'll be Columbia Basin basketball. A chance to tie or take the lead here on this possession. And the Hawks will throw it in. And bringing it out of backcourt. That's Higginbotham. Shot way out top of the key that would not go. Rebound by Lane. Jordan Rodriguez dribbles the length of the floor, then shuttles it underhand to her teammate who misses the shot. Fielder back up though and in. Fielder missed the shot, and then Sarah Hall grabbed the offensive rebound and laid it back up and in. 15-11 score. Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Fanganillo Now dribble drive going in, laying up. No, miss. Missed by Higginbotham. And the ball was touched out of bounds, so it will be Lane basketball. Leading by 4, 15-11, minute 44 to play, first quarter. Titans, Amber Lease brings it up to Tulloch. Inside. Closed off there. And lots of traffic underneath there for Sarah Hall. Couldn't really find an opening. There were 4 black shirts around her. I guess maybe that's very dark navy. Inbounds baseline. Jordan Rodriguez gets it back. Now goes to Lease. 8 to shoot. Give it up again to Lease. Goes in. Stripped to the basketball. And foul called. And 2 shots coming up here. The foul is going to be called on the Columbia Basin. And whistled on Niat Geach, her first personal foul. And we're in the bonus here. But a couple shots anyway. She was fouled in the act of shooting. And free throw for Amber Lease, number 1 is good. The lead is 5. Sarah Hall will go to the bench. And Lease gets another free throw and hits it. 6-point lead. Lane equals their biggest lead of the game. Dribbling it up through traffic, going in, stripped to the basketball was Kayla Jones. No, held ball, they say. Held ball, and we go to the possession arrow. That favors the Lane Titans, so they'll have the basketball. Checking back in for Lane will be Sarah Hall. And so here we go with Lane with the basketball. With 1 minute to play in the first quarter. Long outside shot. That's a 3 ball. The 3 is up and good by Rachel Fielder. The lead is 9 points. Biggest lead of the game for the Lane Titans. And that is going to be Sierra Perez with that bucket on the other end for Columbia Basin. Now they go underneath. Lots of traffic. The conversion upon the ball is kicked. And they'll not reset the shot clock. It'll be 36 to play in the quarter. 19-second. Oh, no, they're going to reset it because after the kick ball, they're going to say it's Columbia Basin basketball. So CBC with the ball. About a 5-second differential shot clock and game clock. A little runner with the right hand is up and no good by Perez. And the rebound out of backcourt. It's going to be Lane with the basketball. The shot clock is dead. We count down the final 15 seconds of the first quarter. Amber Lease looking for a screen. Goes down to one knee, getting no help. Finally, he's got her teammate there. The ball, though, is going to trickle out of bounds with just under 3 seconds to go, and Rachel Fielder couldn't control it. CBC will have it, the final 2.9. Aspen, check it. It's going to be Amanda Toby from Grants Pass High School, Grants Pass, Oregon. Will check in. Down to 2, down to 1. Will she shoot? She will. Half-court shot. Will not go. A miss there for Kayla Jones, and we step aside for our first quarter break after 1 quarter of action. It's the Lane Titans 20, the Columbia Basin College Hawks 13. You're listening and watching this ball game. NWAC Women's Basketball Tournament on STSPN.com.
There is no obstacle an engineer can't tackle, build around, or blow up. Skilled and versatile, these soldiers pave the way, building fortifications, detecting and destroying mines, or restoring electricity after a natural disaster. Nothing stands in the way of a Guard engineer.
Welcome back. Having some verbal gymnastics here watching this ball game. Still complaining and griping about the numbers on the Columbia Basin uniforms. Very hard to read. Actually, it's clearer on the TV than it is to the naked eye. Top of the key, Perez. Here's a stop and a pop and a shot, and it's no good by Kayla Jones. Kept alive by Columbia Basin. They reload, turn around, about a 17-footer of good for Alexis Higginbotham. Put it up and in. It's a 5-point lead for Lane over Columbia Basin. Second quarter of action. Hall, 2 players from Columbia Basin were right there, and Hall is going to be fouled. And I think it's going to be Nialet Geach will pick up the foul. It's going to be her first personal foul, the first team foul of the second quarter. Reset the fouls after each quarter in college women's basketball now. There's no double bonus in college women. Looking down underneath, bad pass. That's a turnover. Bad pass by Amber Lease. Turned over to Columbia Basin. Pull-up jumper won't go. A miss there by Higginbotham. Reload outside. That won't go. And then they'll kick it back out for another shot. That won't go either for Higginbotham. So a couple of chances at it. Actually 3, and none of them would go down. And it's Lane basketball. Rodriguez to Lease. Lease across the top of the key to Tulloch. Back, oh boy, it was going to be a 3. In fact, the official even raised his arm like it was going to be a 3, and she didn't pull the trigger. A miss there by Sarah Hall. Again, back into the hands of Lane. They reload again. Underneath they go. No, they're going to say travel. Sarah Hall traveled before she put the bucket in, and Hall commits the turnover, and it will be turned over to Columbia Basin. Be sure to check out the NWAC on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest NWAC news. Also visit nwacsports.org for the most recent information on schedule, scores, stats, and more. The NWAC Women's Basketball Championship. Columbia Basin with the basketball. Little jumper right side by Higginbotham would not go, but then the follow-up is up and good for Kayla Jones, and it's 2017. Now here's a steal, taken away on the other end. Here comes Lane, but a foul in backcourt is going to be called. It's going to be called on Columbia Basin. Excuse me, it's going to be called on Lane. The Lane player picks up the foul. Jordan Rodriguez, her first personal foul. The first team foul of the second quarter. Sierra Perez, little dribble drive, puts up a scoop lay-in that won't go. Missed it. Ball went out of bounds. Last touch by a Titan. So it'll be Columbia Basin basketball baseline. The official is going to be overruled. Maggie Sperlin came through. I think you'll miss that one. You know, you'll see a lot of that in college basketball. They'll confer, they'll talk, and they'll change their mind because somebody on the other side of the court got a better view of it. And that's what happened that time. So Lane will take the basketball. They're the recipient of that meeting. Jump ball called, held ball, and it's going to be alternating possession. And Lane will keep possession as Sarah Hall just about had the ball stripped away. Baseline out of bounds for Lane. Right-hand side. Shot on the way. 3. Down it goes for Jordan Rodriguez. And it's a 6-point lead for the Lane Titans. Now dribble drive in. Laying up no good. One more time. That'll be good. A rebound and a basket by Alexis Higginbotham. And it's a 4-point lead again for Lane. Quickly down the floor they come. Out for a travel. Turnover by Lane. And Columbia Basin will get the ball back, down by 4 points. CBC basketball. Moving to our right in the very dark uniforms, and another travel. This time Sabine Ko is whistled for the travel and the turnover. So a traveling turnover on both ends results now in Lane with the basketball. Kind of a push. Rodriguez streaking along the baseline there. Nice pass over, but Sarah Hall can't complete it. The pass from Fielder, Hall couldn't complete the bucket, so going down to the other end, rattling and dropping it through, and a timeout's going to be called. The basket by Kayla Jones, a timeout on the floor called by Lane. Our score with 7:12 to play in the first half. It's Lane 23, Columbia Basin 21. Back to Everett right after this.
Medical specialists in the Guard are skilled in CPR, field triage, and emergency life support. Medics stabilize and evac the wounded during combat, come to the aid of civilians in a disaster, and provide day-to-day outpatient care. Medical specialists are saving lives on and off the battlefield.
The Lane Titans and the Columbia Basin Hawks. The last ticket being punched to the Elite Eight, which commences tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So Lane basketball leading by 2. They called the timeout. Amber Lease brings it into front court. Aisha Tulloch throws it right into the hands of a Columbia Basin Hawk, and out of back court they come. Going down, laying up. No, missed the lay-in. Lay-in by Kayla Jones. That was a miss. And back out for a 3 ball on the other end, and Lane says, there you go. And down it goes for Jordan Rodriguez. And what an interesting turn of events that was. Here's a turnaround face and fire. Ice cold from outside is Emily Botkin. She missed that last lay-in. She misses that shot as well. Comes down to Jordan Rodriguez. Kick a pass left side. Aisha Tulloch to Rodriguez along the baseline. Put it up off the bottom of the backboard. And out of backcourt, here comes Columbia Basin with Sierra Perez. Looking to turn around jumper. Botkin misses. He's missed 3 in a row anyway. And the ball went out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by Columbia Basin. It's Lane basketball with a 5-point lead. 6:08 to play in the first half. And Rodriguez will walk it into front court. Looking over to the left side, but instead goes the pass in the corner to Tulloch. Now they work the perimeter to Sarah Hall. Shot on the way, won't go. Rebound, Columbia Basin. Quickly out of backcourt they come. That's Sabine Ko, puts it up too hard, all glass. Rebound's going to be flagged down there by Botkin. Dribble drive in, won't go. That's a miss there by Kayla Jones. And up the floor, here comes Lane. Spin move through the lane over the left-hand corner. 3 on the way, won't go, but Tulloch. And quickly out of backcourt comes Columbia Basin now. Stopping momentarily, just a little hesitation, kind of a Hollywood stop, and an underhand lay-in that's a miss. And quickly now Lane comes down. That earlier miss by Sierra Perez. She of the hesitation move. And now this foul is going to be whistled on Higginbotham. Her second personal foul and the second team foul against Columbia Basin. Lane Titans out of bounds. Madison Russell will throw it in from Lebanon High School, Lebanon, Oregon. Looking to throw it in. That's Hall to Rodriguez. Looks for a screen by Hall. Rodriguez on the dribble to Tulloch. Tulloch is going to be called for, you think? Called for the offensive foul. As kind of standing in front of her was Sabine Kao, and she took it. That was either a offensive foul or a clip, actually. It'd be a little more like a 15-yard penalty and automatic first down for CBC. He just sort of got in the way. Move, and down to the deck she went. So moving it down. And now they're going to just work it out the perimeter right side. 3 ball on the way. Offline, swirls out, no good by Higginbotham for CBC. And Madison Russell trying to bring it out of backcourt. Finally does, gets it to Rodriguez, and the ball is going to be stolen away. KO has it, changes direction, pull-up jumper, banks it in. The steal in the bucket by Sabine Kao. It's 26-23, 3-point lead. Down low they go, turn, face, fire, too hard, no good. Missed by Sierra Carrier, and the rebound controlled by Columbia Basin. CBC out of backcourt. A 3-ball ties it up. How about a 2-ball? It won't go. It's going to rattle off. Ball goes out of bounds. So the 2 could not go down for Kayla Jones, and it'll be out of bounds at the baseline. Last touch by Lane, so CBC keeps it in their own front court. They're looking for someone maybe to throw the ball in. Now they're going to have a sub check in. That's Sierra Perez who will throw it in now. She comes off the bench, she'll throw in the basketball. Inbounds. Little runner, will it be a shot? It'll be an underhanded layup that won't go for Kayla Jones. And the rebound controlled by Lane. Titans out of backcourt. Dribble drive in. Putting it up too hard. No good. Amber Lease with the miss. And a foul will be called on the way in. And Lease will go to the free throw line from Mazama High School in Klamath Falls, Oregon. The foul is going to be on Christelle Fanganillo from Kodiak, Alaska. Picks up the foul. Her second personal foul. And 4th team foul of the quarter. I think this is at least twice that we've waited for Amber Lease. Needs some longer shoelaces. So Lease at the free throw line with a couple of free throws. Number 1 is good. 27-23. We've had 4 lead changes in this ball game. Lane has led by as much as 9 points. Columbia Basin had an early 1-point lead. Next free throw won't go. And now here's a stop and a jumper that won't go. A miss there for Columbia Basin. And Lane Titans will bring it out of backcourt. Sarah Hall. Now the corner to Lease. They're going to call it travel. Called the travel. Turnover here by Lane. So Columbia Basin gets it back, down by 4. As they work it around now, around the perimeter. Swing it over to the right-hand side to Fanganillo. Now down low, putting it up on the glass and in. Up and in as they worked it around and got it inside. And that's a bucket for Emily Botkin. Ball knocked out of bounds. Columbia Basin knocked it out of bounds, so it'll still be Lane basketball, leading by 2. 3:02 to play in the first half. Lease to Hall. Hall starts the dribble. Closed off there. They keep going inside, and there's nothing but black shirts from Columbia Basin out there. So they'll launch a 3 outside, right side of the key. Madison Russell with the miss. and quickly up the floor. Here comes Columbia Basin with a lay-in up and good. And that will bring a timeout. The lay-in by Kayla Jones. Our game is tied for the first time today, and a timeout on the floor with 2 minutes and 34 seconds to play in the first half. 30-second break here, a 27-27 tie.
You know you need a getaway when your laundry pile is bigger than the last mountain you biked. It's time. Go Oak Ridge, the mountain bike capital of the Northwest, where you'll find miles of single track without lots of people. After your downhill ride, swap stories and battle scars over a pint, then stay and play another day. To plan your getaway, go to EugeneCascadesCoast.org/go. It's time. Go Oak Ridge.
Quickly out of backcourt for Lane. They come. Here's a corner right side jumper for a three ball that won't go for Rodriguez. And it goes out of bounds. So we're tied at 27. Our first tie of this ball game. We've had 4 lead changes. And now, here comes Fanganillo out of backcourt for Columbia Basin. Final 2-2-2 of this first half. Dribble in. Perez lost it momentarily, and they're going to call a travel. I'm not sure if Perez traveled before she got rid of the basketball or when she got it to her teammate Kayla Jones, if she traveled with the ball. Either way, it's a travel. It's a turnover, and we're coming up on 2 minutes to play in the first half. Rachel Fielder swings it left to Lease, back to Fielder again, goes in, bodies on the floor. They're going to call the offensive foul. Yeah, they've been calling it consistently all night long, and that time Rachel Fielder, maybe if she went straight through, but she kind of put up the elbow as she headed into the defender, and she will have a seat with her second personal foul. Both teams at 3 team fouls. Most likely won't get to the bonus here with less than 2 minutes to play in the first half. Fanganillo now dribbled along the right-hand side, going in, laying is up and good. Laying is up and good. It's going to be Higginbotham with the bucket, and it's 29-27 CBC. With their first 2-point lead, their biggest lead of this game. Lane with it. They've kind of lost their spark, Lane did. Down low it goes. Of course, it is almost 11 o'clock at night. Turnaround jumper on the way. Good. Aisha Tulloch. And we're tied at 29. Quickly out of backcourt. Swing it up. Pull-up jumper that won't go. It's going to be a miss there for Columbia Basin. And a grab for Lane. And Jordan Rodriguez, a runner that won't go. And grab down with less than a minute to play in the first half. Stop, pop, 3-ball that will not go. Left side by Sierra Perez on the miss, and Lane will clear it out. 29-29 tie. 23 to shoot, 40 on the first half clock. Turnaround jumper, top of the key, 18-footer, more like a 19-footer that would not go. A miss by Hall, but that back up and in by Tulloch. And it's back to a lead for Lane at 31-29. 5 lead changes. Columbia Basin will slow things down. They can play for 1 shot. And if they hit that, if it's a 2, it's a tie at the half. Down to 11. Working it down low, going in, lay in, rattles, and it goes in. Rattles up and in for a 31-31 tie at the end of the quarter. Nice shot there at the end, and that last basket was by Perez. And there we are. End of the first half of action. The last chance for a trip into the Elite 8 to play tomorrow night. And it's 31-31. CBC and Lane will come back with the first half numbers and the second half to begin. The NWAC Women's Basketball Championship at the half. It's Columbia Basin Hawks 31, the Lane Titans 31. You're watching NWAC Basketball on STSPN.com.
Are you interested in learning about a career in criminal justice? Big Bend Community College has 2 degree options. One will prepare you for transfer to a university, and the other will teach you the basic skills many employers are looking for in entry-level applicants. Many graduates have started exciting careers in law enforcement, corrections, and forensics. Students gain experience and networking opportunities through hands-on training with local law enforcement. Local officers, attorneys, and judges visit classes to share expertise, actively recruit, or help with fun campus activities like our mock trial and crash simulation. Students tour local prisons, visit courts and law enforcement agencies to see how criminal justice works in our area. We offer classes in a variety of formats to provide flexibility for our students, and our advisors will help you along the way to meet your specific academic goals. Come see if a career in criminal justice is right for you. Big hopes, big dreams, big successes at Big Bend Community College.
This is my classroom. These are my school supplies. This is my laboratory. These are my assignments. This is my study group. This is my career. Apply and enroll now to the NIC Pharmacy Technology Program. North Idaho College. Start here, go anywhere.
People often ask, what is it you do? I'm an Idaho Army National Guard soldier. But then again, it's not that simple. You see, I'm more than a weekend warrior. It's a continuous effort every day. Yeah, there's extremely long hours, but it's worth it. I love my job. It's like anything else. My profession is whatever I want to make of it. I get to do the incredible things most people dream of. The men and women I serve with are dedicated to being a premier force. It's amazing when you see my entire unit work together. When push comes to shove and we receive that order, we put steel on target. I'm always ready to be called upon to serve our nation. But in the meantime, I train.
Present. Oh!
I serve and protect my neighbors while defending their right to freedom. I'm an Idaho community asset that stands among our citizens. The boundaries I once thought I had are continuously tested and broadened. So there you have it. People will not always know who I am or what I do. But that's alright, because I do.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi ductless heat pumps allow you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. Because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
The Commercial Pilot Program at Big Bend teaches students to fly and gives them the ratings and certificates necessary to work as a commercial pilot. Many of our students come to the Commercial Pilot Program with little or even no aviation experience. They'll start flying an aircraft on day 2, and they progress through training with an instructor to flying the aircraft by themselves, traveling to other airports throughout the Northwest, and they get to learn to fly in a variety of different aircraft. Our students are all scheduled to fly twice a week at a minimum, and they will attend aviation ground school courses that are taught here on campus by the same instructors they fly with. The program operates 23 aircraft, mostly single-engine trainers. We also have multi-engine aircraft, as well as a float plane and a tailwheel aircraft. Moses Lake offers great weather for aviation and for training, with 5 runways at the airport, 13 approaches, a tower, and radar control. Our students also have the opportunity to operate in airspace that includes Boeing jets, the military, and lots of other flight training and testing activities.
At NIC, we believe in investing in our future, one built with dedicated, skilled, and hardworking people. And with the new career and technical education facility at North Idaho College, the future is bright. Today's students are tomorrow's workforce, and North Idaho College's career and technical education program will provide the training that will get you the job. Together, let's build the future. North Idaho College. Start here, go anywhere.
I'm Mike Marzetta from Mind's Eye. Mind's Eye Robotics is a hands-on STEM education experience. We teach the teachers how to implement the curriculum in the lab, and 90% of it is them building, programming, inventing. We want the kids to come home from school and go, wow, I did the coolest thing today, and they're thinking I'm having too much fun and I can't put this dang project down. When STCU supports learning, they're supporting our future. What is a better place to help the greater good than helping kids? I'm Mike Marzetta, and STCU is here for good.
My game's developed 100% since I've been here in the Bay Area. Getting to the NBA is a major accomplishment, but surviving in the NBA is a totally new challenge. The way that I see the game now is all because of the experiences I've had in the last 7 years. It's all been an amazing journey.
LCC has definitely prepared me to transfer to Oregon State because it's helped me with my study skills. I'm a much harder worker than I was in high school.
I had a great support base by the staff, and I've made some great friends that I think I'll carry on with my life.
I've definitely loved my classes. I've learned a lot. It's been a healthy environment.
Don't be afraid to branch out. The people here are awesome. I'm going to be in it for a while, but down the road I'll be finishing up and be ready to join the workforce.
And welcome back to Everett Community College, the NWAC basketball women's tournament. Last half of the day. And let's take a look at the stats. A 31-31 tie. How did we get there? Total rebounds for Columbia Basin, 21, 28 for Lane. Turnover differential, big time. 6 turnovers for Columbia Basin, 17 turnovers for the Lane Titans. Points off turnovers, CBC with 10, Lane with just 2. Shooting, 15 of 44 was Columbia Basin, 34%. 11 of 30 was Lane for 36%. And that's pretty much the leading scorer. 10 points for Alexis Higginbotham, 8 points for Amber Lease for Lane, 6 points for Asha Tulloch for Lane as well. So here we go, second half of action. Columbia Basin will control, moving down to our left. Going in a little runner, no good for Sierra Perez, but back up and in. Off the offensive rebound, back up and in, and the bucket is good there for Kayla Jones. And it'll be now Lane basketball. CBC 33 and 31 for Lane, so our 6th lead change here in this ball game. Top of the key, Sarah Hall to Lease. Over the left-hand side as they work it around. A shot on the way, rattles and goes. That's Sarah Hall with the bucket and ties the ball game. Ties the ball game for a 3rd time. It's 33-33, the score. Sierra Perez. Give it off, stop, pop, KO, good. Sabine KO with the bucket from Woodinville High School. 35-33. Columbia Basin with the lead. Just underway, second half. Turnaround face and fire. The jumper no good by Sierra Carrier. Back up no good by Asha Tulloch. And Lane will get it back again. Sarah Hall went down hard. Give it to Carrier. Carrier dribble drive in. Didn't see her much in the first half because she got 2 quick personal fouls. But she gets some inside presence there. Lays it up and in. And it's 35 all. Now quickly up the floor. Spinning down there. Going in. Off balance. And the lane is good. The lane is up and good for Kayla Jones with the basket. Jones got it. And now back to Lane. 37-35. CBC with the lead. Sarah Hall, corner jumper. Asha Tulloch, bang! Down it goes for a 3 ball for Lane. And they retake the lead over Columbia Basin, 38-37. KO, now right side, long outside 3, bang! Down that one goes. It goes down for Alexis Higginbotham. And another lead for Columbia Basin. Will they answer on the other end? No. It's no good by Asha Tulloch. And the rebound comes down into the hands of Columbia Basin. Slowing things down a little bit there was Sierra Perez, and now she looks down low. Both of the big people for both teams were on the bench for much of the first half with foul problems. That time it was a miss by Botkin. And it's going to be grabbed by Lane. Ball kicked out of bounds. It'll still be in possession of the Lane Titans with 17 on the shot clock. Sabine Ko has to tie her shoe. Dribble drive along the right-hand side, going in right around the defense, but can't hit the lay-in was Amber Lease. She had a clear lane to the hoop. Went around all the defenders. They just kind of watched her go by like a parade, and then she couldn't lay it up and in. And on the turnover, it gives it back to Columbia Basin. CBC up by 2. 40-38. KO down low, but missing the lay-in once. How about twice? Won't go. Get her on a rebound one more time. It won't go either. 3 times. 4th time, is it a charm? It is. That's Botkin. She stayed with it. Give her credit. She had 3 misses and a make, but she stayed with it and got it and opens up a 4-point lead for Columbia Basin. Turnaround by Hall won't go, and a foul called. Columbia Basin has their biggest lead of this game, up by 4 points at 42-38. Botkin picks up the foul, though. That's her 3rd personal foul. She's heading over to the bench. The coach was out beyond the restraining line talking to the official, and the official pointed at him and said, "You get behind the line." Kind of drew a line in the sand that said, "I dare you to cross it." Sarah Hall, first free throw is good. Next one is good as well. So Botkin has to go back to the bench, kind of favoring her left knee as well. Both free throws good. It's 42-40. KO up fakes for a 3, goes in for a 2. Probably should have taken the 3. The 2 didn't go. Sarah Hall clears out for the rebound. Now down the floor again. Lay it up good. On the other end, Amber Lease lays it up. And it's 42-40. Excuse me, now it's 42-42. I thought it was. They were just late putting it up. It's late on the scoreboard as well for everybody that's been here since 8 o'clock this morning. Long outside shot. That's going to be a miss. No good by Sierra Perez. Now taken down by Lane. Nearly knocked away. It's going to be grabbed there by Asha Tulloch. To the right baseline to Hall. Dribble drive along the baseline. Short arms the lay-in. Couldn't hit it. And the free throw. Will they say free throw upcoming? Yeah, it's going to be. Sarah Hall will be at the free throw line. The foul is going to be on Kayla Jones, her 2nd personal foul. The 2nd team foul of the 3rd quarter. First free throw is good. Lane out to a lead again. So our 9th lead change of this ball game. Another one coming up here for Sarah Hall. She hits it. Hall out of Sheldon High School in Eugene, Oregon. And Sierra Carrier will go to the bench. That time I think Greg Shealy, the head coach, is thinking, well, if Kayla Jones is on the bench, and Emily Botkin anyway. I'll put my big person on the bench as well. Kayla Jones isn't on the bench as she hits it for the running lay-in, and that's our 6th tie. It's 44-44 the score. Baseline jumper up good. Rachel Fielder with the bucket. Lane with the lead, 46-44. Kayla Jones. Now down low, little stutter step move, kind of juked one way and the other. A miss though by Higginbotham. And out of back court is Jordan Rodriguez. Goes to that left corner, left elbow. Now to Hall. Down low, Hall will get it down inside to Rachel Fielder. Missed the shot. Jump ball called. Higginbotham was saying she didn't think it should have been a jump ball. We're going to have a timeout called here. Actually, we're going to have a timeout called, the under 5 media timeout in the third quarter. Our score with 4:53 to go in the third quarter, Lane 46, Columbia Basin 44. Back to Everett right after this timeout.
As certified jumpers, divers, and survival experts, Special Forces are dropped behind enemy lines to train foreign fighters, carry out covert missions, or prevent future conflicts. These soldiers live for the challenge, highly trained and highly intelligent. Special Forces soldiers are the best of the best.
Local farmers markets are a convenient place to get fresh, healthy food and products for your family. Lewis County has numerous markets that provide you with an affordable choice of fresh food products. Many of those farms are also available to purchase from directly, so you can take comfort in knowing exactly where your food is coming from. Meet your farmer, know your food. We make it easy in Lewis County.
These two teams met twice during the regular season. December 9th, Lane defeated Columbia Basin 90-80. And then 8 days later, Lane defeated them again by 4, this time 75-71. So this the third time they've met. Right now Lane with a 46-44 lead, and the Rock. Amber Lease, cross court to Rodriguez. Now to Hall. Now they force it down low, and forcing it up and putting it up too hard is Rachel Fielder. The rebound is going to be controlled by Columbia Basin. Hawks basketball out of back court. Sabine Ko puts it up too hard off the rim, and she got fouled on the way in. Couple of free throws coming up here for Sabine Ko out of Woodinville High School. And she goes to the free throw line. Rachel Fielder picks up the foul. That's going to be her third personal foul for Fielder. And the first team foul. First free throw is good for Ko. It's 46-45 Lane. And Ko gets another, and she could tie the score for the 7th time. She does. 46 all. Lane basketball. Leave it there for Rodriguez. Now Madison Russell. Nice pass down low, but can't hit the lay-in. Then the carrier goes high in the air trying to grab the rebound. And they're going to call her for the jump ball. I thought they were going to call her for the over-the-back foul, but she was kind of standing above everybody and picked the basketball off. And now Botkin will check back in. Botkin averages 14.1 points per ball game. She's trying to fight for some position. It seems like she's still working a knee. Down low, Botkin try to force her way up against Carrier. Ball went out of bounds. Last touched here. Yeah, she is limping decidedly, I believe. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on the internet. But she's favoring her knee coming out of backcourt. Not favoring her knee quickly out of backcourt. Comes Amber Lease. Madison Russell looked at a 3 ball, didn't take it. Rodriguez with it. Now to Carrier. They swing it around. Nice ball movement here. 12 to shoot. Over to the corner. 3-ball on the way. Won't go. It's a miss by Rodriguez. They moved it around, and Rodriguez came down with nothing. 46-46 tie. Nope, not anymore. Dribbling in, and Higginbotham lays it up and in, and it's 48-46 with Columbia Basin out to the lead again, and a travel. Travel on lane. Turnover in favor of Columbia Basin. They'll have the basketball. We've had 10 lead changes in the ball game. It's 48-46 CBC. Higginbotham, thought she was going to take it the distance. Instead, turn around and up it goes and down it goes for Emily Botkin. And it's a 4-point lead for Columbia Basin, equaling their biggest lead of the game. Lease leaves it for Rodriguez, goes around a screen set by Hall. To Russell, to Carrier, looking to go back to Hall. Carrier had it down low, probably should have just taken it. They're going to have a block foul. Blocking foul is going to be called here on Amber Lease. She's going to be called for the blocking foul. That's going to be her first personal foul, second team foul. And Carrier will head off the floor. 50-46, Columbia Basin, 2:44 to play in the third quarter. Perez trying to back in, lost the handle momentarily. Higginbotham. Now to Botkin. Botkin into the key, kicks a pass left side to KO, off the glass and in. Sabine KO with the bucket, and the lead is 6 points. Biggest lead of the game for Columbia River. Russell. Now to Rodriguez. Back to Lease. Lease goes in, gets a pass off over the left-hand side for the laying up and good by Rachel Fielder. Stems the bleeding a little bit at 52-48. Columbia Basin, 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. It's Higginbotham. Now to the top of the key. Air ball. Air mailed it up there with Sierra Perez. The 20-footer went about 19 feet and landed out of bounds. So we'll be Lane basketball. Down by 4 to Columbia Basin. Last ticket to the Elite 8 for tomorrow night's 8 o'clock game. Who will be playing Skagit Valley? That will be decided. Ball knocked away. Sarah Hall had control of it, then knocked away by a Hawk player. So it'll still be 16 seconds to shoot. Baseline out of bounds for Lease. Looking and going out on top. Here's a shot on the way out top side, a 3-ball that will not go for Asha Tulloch. And CBC brings it down. Kayla Jones changes direction, goes into traffic, puts it up, no good. Botkin is down on the floor. Kayla Jones is down on the floor. We got a couple of... Now Botkin is very much favoring her left knee. And we saw that the last time that she sat on the bench. She kind of, when you sit down, when you get to be a certain age, you sit down, you just kind of rub your knee because it hurts. That's exactly what she did. But this time she's not rubbing it, she's limping, going off, and she's off the floor. Lane basketball down by 4. But she is an inside presence that now they lose. Long outside 3 that won't go for Rodriguez. And a foul call, push-off foul coming off the rebound. I think Tulloch may be the guilty party. It is. Asha Tulloch picks up the foul. That's going to be her second personal foul. And team foul number 3 with 1:02 to play in the third quarter. Kayla Jones. Jones averages 17.1 points per ball game. Going down low, Higginbotham rattles off, no good. And the rebound grabbed down by Rodriguez. by Carrier, excuse me. Laying up and good. Quickly on the other end for Lease. Amber Lease with the bucket. It's 52-50 now. Now Higginbotham can't answer on the other end. Carrier grabs the rebound for the Titans. About a 1 second differential, shot clock, game clock. 22 to shoot now. So they'll hold for one shot. Rodriguez goes around a screen, kicks in the corner. Asha Tulloch looked at a three, faked the three, shoots a three, won't hit the three, misses it. Down to 2, down to 1. Will they get a shot from half court? It counts if it goes. She could have been staying at the Tulalip Resort Casino if she had hit that shot. Our score at the end of 3 quarters of action. It's Columbia Basin 52, Lane 50. Fourth and final quarter coming up next on STSPN.com.
Know you need a getaway when your laundry pile is bigger than the last mountain you bite. It's time. Go Oak Ridge, the mountain bike capital of the Northwest, where you'll find miles of single track without lots of people. After your downhill ride, swap stories and battle scars over a pint, then stay and play another day. To plan your getaway, go to EugeneCascadesCoast.org/go. It's time. Go Oak Ridge.
I can't remember what the last one was. It was pretty good. Olympic College is a place to pursue your dreams on and off the field with 11 women's and men's athletics teams and numerous academic programs. There's something for everyone at Olympic College. Learn more at olympiccollege.info/athletics. Fourth and final quarter underway. Lane with the basketball. Little runner that won't go for Sarah Hall. A putback won't go. And the rebound controlled now by Columbia Basin. They lead it by 2 points. Going in for the lay-in. Coast to coast for Kayla Jones. Got the rebound and went to the other end and laid it up and in. It's a 4-point lead for Columbia Basin. Now Hall with it. And a travel call. Lane can kind of feel things starting to slip away a little bit. 34 seconds in. And Lane's coach, Greg Shealy, is up more pleading with his team to wake up. We're down by 4. They had as much as a 9-point lead. Columbia Basin's led by as much as 6. Measuring for a 3 ball. That won't go. The right wing by Higginbotham missed it. And Lane with the basketball. Asha Tulloch. Amber Lease. Back out to the top of the key. Sarah Hall. Hall has lost the basketball. It's going to be picked up Sabine Kao, and then she gets fouled by Asha Tulloch. Kao came through and picked up the basketball. And Asha Tulloch kind of sideswiped her and picks up her 3rd personal foul. And that's the first team foul of the 4th and final quarter. I got the feeling everybody's going to ride everybody the rest of the way here foul-wise. Here's a turn, a face, and a fire. That won't go. They've taken Emily Botkin off the injured reserve list and put her back into the ball game, but she misses that one. Amber Lease has one path to the. It's more like roller derby. The Jet City Roller Girls do perform here in this building, but I don't think it's tonight. We've had some vicious hits here during this ball game. Here's a travel call. Asha Tulloch kind of puts out her hands and says, "You got to be kidding me." But that is the call, and it is going to be Columbia Basin Hawks basketball with a 4-point lead, and they bring it into front court. Higginbotham. Out of KO. Stop, pop, 14-footer, won't go. Kept alive, back up. That's the reason she's in there. Emily Botkin, the 6'1 sophomore from White Swan High School, makes it 56-50 as Columbia Basin equals their biggest lead of the contest. Now Hall gets a pass right side. Sierra Carrier can't hold on to it, and it's going to be stolen away. Grabbed by Higginbotham of Columbia Basin. Little stutter step move there. Turnaround face and fire for KO won't go. And Carrier grabs the rebound for Lane. Out of backcourt they come. Amber Lease with it. Ball went out of bounds. They're going to give it back over to Columbia Basin. Carrier checks back out. Rachel Fielder checks back in for the Titans. And Greg Shealy's up again, preaching up and down the line to his players. Overplay on the defense there. Ball went out of bounds, and last touch as Sierra Perez had no help, and then a nice overplay on the defense by Amber Lease caused that turnover, and it'll be Lane basketball. 56-50 Columbia Basin. Lease to Hall, back to Lease again. Long cross court, wide open three, rattles off, won't go. A miss by Rodriguez, but back out to Asha Tulloch. Trying to force it down low and force it into the defender's hands. Rachel Fielder couldn't get it, and Columbia Basin will. Higginbotham from the left side. Shuttles a pass underneath to Botkin. Turns and puts it up. It won't go. She thought she got fouled. The rebound's controlled by Rodriguez. Lane out of backcourt. Stops at the three-point line. Gives it up. Down low to Fielder. One shot. Won't go. And out of backcourt comes Kayla Jones. And now Asha Tulloch was on the deck. And immediately a timeout was called by Lane's bench. And will step aside with 6:35 to play in the game. It is CBC 56, Lane 50. Snohomish County basketball here from downtown Everett, right here on SCSBN.com.
Yes. Welcome to Basketball City, USA. I use my brain, open lanes to the top of the game. I use my hand on any man that would try to contain me. Use my feet and compete like I need to the death. I use my heart and it'll beat till I breathe my last breath. Hoop Fest 2017. Don't miss your shot.
Aviation warrant officers deal in high-pressure situations, life-saving disaster rescues, delivering soldiers and payloads to critical areas, and engaging enemy targets. Supported by an aviation mechanic team on the ground, guard pilots control the sky.
There'll be 4 games tomorrow here at Everett Community College. The Elite 8 level for the NWAC women. Peninsula and Umpqua will play at 2 o'clock. Bellevue and Spokane will play at 4 o'clock. Walla Walla and Lower Columbia at 6. Skagit Valley waiting the winner of this game to wrap it up for the weekend tomorrow night at 8 o'clock here at Everett Community College. Here's Lane, down low, one shot no good by Rachel Fielder. Tried to get her own rebound, the ball stripped away from her. It's a 6-point lead for Columbia Basin. Boy, almost a travel as they came across the timeline. Sabine Ko, she'll go through traffic, dump it down low, going in, off the window, too hard, no good by Botkin. And the rebound's going to be grabbed by Lane. Titans out of backcourt. Fielder gives it to Amber Lease, and she'll bring it into front court now. To Sarah Hall. Now to Carrier, put it up off balance. The follow-up no good by Fielder. And we're going to have a foul called. It's going to be Sabine Ko picking up the foul. That's going to be her 3rd personal foul. First team foul of the 4th quarter. Free throw here for Rachel Fielder. Ooh, missed the first one. Rims out. The lead is 6 for CBC. Columbia Basin, the East number 3 seed. Lane, the South number 2 seed. That one will go. The lead is 5. I'm getting Jim throat here. Right side, Higginbotham. Goes long cross-court pass to Sabine Kao, who fires a 3. Won't go. Kept alive by Botkin. No, she stepped on the out-of-bounds line. And it will be right back over to Lane, down by 5. Here's Amber Lease. Comes into front court. Out between the circles, swing a pass right side to Rodriguez. Now to Hall, now to Carrier, and no good. And she got fouled on the way in. So Sierra Carrier from North Eugene High School in Eugene, Oregon, heads to the free throw line. The foul's on Higginbotham. She's from Zilla. And that's going to be her 3rd personal foul. 2nd team foul on Columbia Basin. Free throw here for Carrier. First one won't go. .5:17 to play. Win and advance, lose, and you are done. Next free throw will not go. Kao grabs the rebound for Columbia Basin, quickly down the floor. Shot in the corner, no good by Perez. Battle for it. Higginbotham had it. A couple of foul shots coming up here. Alexis Higginbotham from Zilla goes to the free throw line. Carrier picks up the foul. Sierra Carrier will pick it up. That's going to be her 3rd personal foul. 2nd team foul. Free throw number 1 won't go for Higginbotham. She'll get another. Averages 12.6 points per ball game. Missed them both. And Hall grabs the board. Rodriguez turns and backs up to the basket. Gets it back. Now to Lease. She will dribble in, go in, and she'll lay it up, and it won't go. Rattles out, no good. Botkin grabs the rebound for CBC. To Kao. Kind of lulling him to sleep, going in. Underhand lay-in will not go, but earning him at the free throw line. Heading to the line will be Kayla Jones. She hails from White Swan, and we've got the under 5-minute media timeout. We step aside. CBC 56, Lane 51. The final 4:38 of the game coming up right after this.
Lewis County is full of opportunities, especially when it comes to our food. Here, our farmers are growing food and making products that provide healthy, fresh, and tasty options for your family. Lewis County is also home to many restaurants that purchase directly from these farms and offer entire meals made with ingredients fresh off the farm. Meet your farmer, know your food. We make it easy in Lewis County.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
PSG Washington is a proud sponsor of this year's tournament. The PSG team of highly skilled employee benefits consultants is here to guide you toward making the best decisions for your business and employees. Throughout the Northwest, no other firm can match their unparalleled blend of experience and dedication to customer service. PSG Washington. We're not satisfied until you're satisfied. First free throw is good for Kayla Jones for Columbia Basin. Back to a 6-point lead. This free throw could give them their biggest lead of the contest, and she does. It's 7 points here in the fourth quarter. They'll stop play momentarily. Oh no, Asha Tulloch. Yeah, she is tying her shoe. Higginbotham. Somebody get these people some Velcro. And she gets a big round of applause from her teammates on the bench. She probably learned to tie her shoe about 20 years ago. Well, okay, maybe 16 years ago. As Lane doing the weave and going in. Any port in the storm, and it works that time for Asha Tulloch and the bucket, and the lead is 5 points for Columbia Basin. CBC looking for a stop here as they'll rifle a pass down to Botkin. She just backs in. She just moves people around and then goes to the rack and puts it in. It's back to a 7-point lead. Quickly the other way. Lease will miss. Rebound controlled by who's got it. Finally, it's going to be controlled by Lane. Rachel Fielder. Back out, they'll reset the offense. Jordan Rodriguez. The lead is 7 points for Columbia Basin. Give it inside. Turn, face, fire for Hall. Won't go. And who's got it? Jump ball called. Possession arrow to Columbia Basin. Lane is starting to become a factor here with 3:38 to play. Reset on the 30 and off we go. Sabine Kao brings it out of backcourt for the Hawks. Down low. That is Botkin. Puts it up, short-armed it a little bit. Couldn't hit the lay-in. And Amber Lease out of backcourt. Goes, dumps a pass, left side, wicked pass. Great pass to Sarah Hall for the lay-in. And the lead is 5, 60-55. And a timeout on the floor called here by Columbia Basin. 3:13 to play in the game. Columbia Basin 60, Lane Community College 55. Back with more right after this timeout.
I'm Mike Marzetta from Mind's Eye. Mind's Eye Robotics is a hands-on STEM education experience. We teach the teachers how to implement the curriculum in the lab, and 90% of it is them building, programming, inventing. We want the kids to come home from school and go, wow, I did the coolest thing today, and they're thinking I'm having too much fun and I can't put this dang project down. When STCU supports learning, they're supporting our future. What is a better place to help the greater good than helping kids? I'm Mike Marzetta, and STCU is here for good.
I'd like to see one of those under my Christmas tree, Todd. One of those robot things from STCC. So here we go. Columbia Basin with the lead by 5. They have the basketball. The final 3 minutes of the game. Alexis Higginbotham with it to Sabine Kao. Now to Perez. Starts the dribble along the right wing. Closer, lay in, no. Foul. Perez is laying on the floor. Lease was on the floor, and it's going to be Amber Lease who picks up the foul for the Titans. Her second personal foul, and the 4th team foul. And who's at the line? Sierra Perez is at the free throw line. Free throw, good, number 1. It's a 6-point lead. Another one here for Perez. It's good. 62-55. Columbia Basin equals their biggest lead of the game. Amber Lease has it. Time becoming a factor. Tick, tick, tick if you're Lane. Got to find somebody open. You got to find somebody open that can hit a shot. Rodriguez kind of looked at a 3. They'll go down to Carrier, though. Hook shot won't go. Gets her own rebound back up. It won't go. Well, you got to hit him from point-blank range. Asha Tulloch is down. Botkin's down again, and she again is favoring that knee. She's just getting hammered under there, and she's just bending over. It hurts. And they're leaving her in there, though. And right now they're 7 points away from winning the ball. Well, they're leaving it her now because she's got to shoot the free throws. And I think that officials over talking about if it's dangerous or not, the officials now kind of have a responsibility for health and safety of the players. First free throw is good. Your knee is swelled to the size of a grapefruit and it's throbbing and you hit a free throw. And opens up the biggest lead of the game now for Columbia Basin. She gets another one. Good. It's a 9-point lead. Timeout called. We'll step aside with 2:30 to play. Last game of the first day of the NWAC Women's Basketball Tournament. And it's 64-55. Columbia Basin over Lane. Back with more on STSPN.com.
Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
Well, there's a 7-Eleven just about a block and a half from here, and I think Emily Botkin's going to go in and buy 2 full bags of ice for her knees tonight because if they have to play tomorrow. Carrier puts up a shot and hits it. She put it up and in. It's a 7-point lead now for Columbia Basin. Coming up on 2 minutes of play in the game. That's Sabine Kao. Now to Sierra Perez. Overplay, trying to slap the ball away. Getting too deep in the shot clock now to take a foul. No, they won't. It'll be Asha Tulloch who does pick up the foul. And that's going to put them into the bonus, and 2 shots coming up here. Tulloch picks up her 4th personal foul. The 5th team foul, 2 shots here. So deadly silent here in the building, and the first one is up and good for Sierra Perez. Everybody's a little punchy here at this hour. Got a great crowd on hand through most of the day, especially when Everett, the home team, played. Next free throw is good. 66-57, 9-point lead. Under 2 minutes now to play. Tulloch off the glass. That's all. Carrier putback won't go. Rebounds grabbed by Kayla Jones. Out of backcourt they come, up the floor. Higginbotham dribbles it out. Goes left side to Jones again. Now they'll swing it to the right side. Now back down to 10 on the shot clock. Going in for the lay-in. Almost stuck. But a foul's going to be called. Foul's going to be called. Higginbotham goes to the free throw line. And the foul's going to be called on Jordan Rodriguez. That's her 2nd personal foul. We're in the bonus here. And free throw for Higginbotham. First one is good. And that will be the biggest lead of the game for Columbia Basin. Next free throw. Boy, they're going to win it tonight at the free throw line. Out of backcourt comes Lease. Offensive foul. Lease just barreled over Sabine Kao, who very smartly. Now Jerry Krause, a longtime coach at Eastern Washington, used to call those man makers. I don't think in women's basketball you call them man makers, but that's exactly what it is. As Sabine Kao saw her coming, out of control, stepped in the front and just stood there and said, "Bring it on, sister," and she did, and she got bowled over. Swinovich Casino and Lodge includes 98 luxury rooms overlooking Padilla Bay and the San Juan Islands. Dine at 13 Moons Restaurant, which features flavors of hand-cut alderwood grilled seafood meats and the freshest flavors of the Northwest. Play more than 800 of the latest slot titles and table games, including blackjack, craps, roulette, and pie gow. For more information on events and promotions, visit SwinovishCasinoandLodge.com. And be sure to check out the NWAC on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the latest NWAC news. Also visit nwacsports.org for the most recent information on schedule, scores, and stats. 1 minute, 18 seconds to play in the last game of the day of 8 that have been played. Peninsula and Umpqua tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Bellevue and Spokane at 4 o'clock. Walla Walla, Lower Columbia at 6. Skagit Valley will take on, well, it looks like it's going to be Columbia Basin. They have an 11-point lead. Inbounds here for CBC. Higginbotham's back out there. And a foul called in backcourt. They have to take a foul here. That will send CBC to the free throw line. And who did they call it on? They will call it on Lane's Morgan Newton. First time we've seen her from Myrtle Point, Oregon. First free throw good. Kind of a line change here. Higginbotham at the free throw line. Now a 12-point lead. This one good as well, make it 13. And that will just about do it. Lease will launch a 3 that won't go. Rebound, foul. Other end we go. Jordan Rodriguez will pick up the foul, her third personal foul. Long since in the bonus, Alexis Higginbotham to the free throw line. First one won't go. I think finally Emily Botkin will head over and buy those 2 bags of ice that she's going to put on her knees. And because they will play tomorrow, Columbia Basin will play Skagit Valley tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Free throw good, 71-57. So Lane went from a 9-point lead to down by 14 points to Columbia Basin. 3 ball missed by Fielder. Inside now, a minute to play. Up the floor. Sierra Perez. And now Tulloch is kind of chasing around, and finally I think, head coach Greg Sheely says, knock it off. We're just not going to start fouling and hacking our way out of this ball game. They'll just hold on to the basketball. Down to 7 to shoot. Long outside shot, and down it goes for Higginbotham. She was just launching it up there, and Higginbotham hits it and opens now a 16-point lead. On the other end, standing out of bounds. Ooh. I guess it was touched out of bounds before. Standing out of the bounds there was Nialet Geach. Lane will throw it in. Way out on top. Tulloch launches a 3. Air ball. Airmails it out of bounds. And with a 16-point lead, Columbia Basin will just dribble out here the final 21 seconds of this one. Be with us again tomorrow starting at 2 o'clock. We'll be here for 4 games. Peninsula and Umpqua, Bellevue, Spokane, Walla Walla, and Lower Columbia. And it will be the Skagit Valley Cardinals taking on the Columbia Basin Hawks. They come from down in this game to win the ball game. It'll look like a blowout in the stats, but it was not a blowout. It was a pretty close ball game. Lane gave them all they could, but in the final result, it will be the Columbia Basin Hawks 73 and the Lane Titans 57. That is your final score. Be with us again tomorrow for NWAC Women's College Basketball For Rick Dana and Todd Elvig, Tom Lafferty bidding you a good evening from Everett, Washington.